Hey guys, what's going on? It's Twintuitive717. I am back with another video. I hope you guys are doing incredibly well. We send you mega good vibes, my wonderful, beautiful little sidekick here. So, I wanted to share a reading with the Divine Feminines. Many of you are experiencing this kind of energy in the air where you're just wanting to, ease off the connection a bit, or there's just so much left unspoken, I guess, is what I'm trying to get at between you and your counterpart. And it's not so much that I want to focus on the divine masculines in this reading. I really want to send messages for the feminine to let you guys know, you're on the right path and everything happens in divine timing. And we're not given situations that we're unable to handle. What I mean by that is I really do sense that the divine feminine collective feels a sense of disappointment, and this kind of happens, ouch, sorry guys, this kind of happens throughout the journey, and it does cause a lot of pain, I guess I would say, and not only pain, but it's almost like trauma, right? It feels like a breakup each and every time you guys have to separate. And the crazy part about it is that you can't share the intensity of the connection with anyone, because you end up, just getting advice to move on or just get over it, or, and you might find yourselves in situations sometimes where you are trying to block out the connection or move forward with your life in a way that makes sense. And sometimes that energy can be really, really heavy, right? So what I want to do is help you guys relax a little bit if you're in that situation where you're separated from your counterpart and you feel any sense of pain or longing or grief in any way for the connection. So you can always just transmute this energy by being in the now moment. Many of us need to do something to feel grounded. I love to rub my fingers, or of course, when Meg is close to me and I'm feeling really anxious, I pet her. If you guys have cats at home or animals, it's good to be near them. Do something to really ground yourself and pay attention to the present moment that we have. And normally, to get myself out of any kind of energy that feels very stagnant or where I'm stuck, I always get into the energy of gratitude. And I always want to send out the reminder that this is your journey. And so we have to take care of ourselves and take accountability for everything that's happening, even though we have incarnated on this earth with our twin and it feels very, very intense. We're still very much accountable for our own individual sides of this journey. And that's what you'll find sometimes when separation does occur. It's that the both of you have things in place that you need to experience, you need to go through. I often think about myself, and I had to have my son. I mean, I don't even think that Mega would be in my life if it wasn't for my connection with my soulmate partner. It's I never would have had such a wonderful family, and I don't ever regret that for a moment. And so sometimes when we feel this sadness on the journey, it's a good thing to remember and take a good look around in your life, and there's just so much to be thankful for and grateful for, even right down to our health, guys. Being able to just use our five senses. I know that David Goggins, I really love listening to his life experience and reading or listening to anything he has on motivation. So these are really great tips to get you out of funks. Meditate. If you have trouble being alone with your thoughts, then use meditative music or sounds or any kind of vibration or hertz music that make you feel at peace. I remember at one point in the journey, the only thing that I felt very attached to was the native flute. I would play hours and hours of it on YouTube, and it was just I needed some type of, again, that grounding feeling, right? So I know what you guys are going through during this period. It's not always easy, and these are just some of the things that I tend to do to keep myself feeling very alert and in the present moment. And those are very, very helpful tools. Once you get into that energy of gratitude, it is very, very easy to pull yourself out of any kind of negative vibration. I'm just going to call in some of my divine helpers around me. And even if your energy and your guides are drawn to the cards in the reading as well, I just hope that these messages find you well positively and gives you, encouragement on the journey, because, you're not alone. It doesn't matter what your circumstances, what your dynamic is. You're only judged if you judge yourself. No one else's opinion matters. And again, it's all about taking accountability on this journey and being grateful for what we've been given. Once we, adapt this attitude, we really can begin manifesting and creating the life that we want. All right, so get in tune with your thoughts here. Really, okay, so the news comes out first, because I was going to say really put an end to, a lot of the fear-based thoughts that you might have about this twin flame connection or your life in general. I just want you guys to know, even for myself, I had circumstances occur where I was kind of pushed into doing a YouTube channel or just exploring other ways to be at home and raise my son. And I kind of had to really get into that energy of putting an end to all of the fears that I had about manifesting and creating what it is I wanted, instead of just letting life come at me and really just take control of whatever it is you're doing. As the feminine energy, you have these divine powers of persuasion. And I remember having this conversation as well with Divine Symmetry 1847. I'm sure many of you have gone to her channel and listened to some of her readings. I often refer to it as my morning tea, but even her energy is just so calming and soothing, and it constantly reminds me to stay in that vibration of attracting peace and love into my life. And every time I think about worry, cut it off, guys. Put an end to it. Consider it a dead end. Because our negative thoughts are put up on display for us to see. They will, sometimes make us feel this energy of, being persecuted is what I'm being called to say. And some of us do feel that energy sometimes when we, when we really think about the things that come up in our subconscious and about our journey, our lives, whether we're being good parents or not. Just everything intertwined all together that goes on in our minds on a daily basis. If it's fear-based, let it go and attract the thought that you actually want to manifest, or the outcome or the result that you want to get. Okay, and that goes for anything. It could be at work. You guys need things to work out in your favor. Will it and manifest it, and then take action. Have this attitude of not taking no for an answer, because you want to and you choose to create life in a different way for yourself. Right? And I can't help but ignore the house card here coming up, because, many of us, when we get into this energy of putting that old fear-based energy to an end, it's we rebuild ourselves so much of a stronger structure. We're so much more empowered and powerful when we start seizing the day and understanding and realizing, wait a second, I don't have to take this person's answer as the final say. I don't have to feel like I'm so caught up in the system that I don't have a voice of my own. Okay, and many of us are discovering this at this time. We're getting so creative. Many of you are starting YouTube channels, you're starting blogs, you are finding ways to just make yourself very independent of, that lifestyle that has you counting on other people to make things possible for yourself, if that makes sense. Okay, so a lot of the Divine Feminine Collective is feeling this push, and I think that that's why sometimes too, you can feel the separation occurring at times for a reason, and it's because it's meant to push you into these energies of constantly breaking down the walls that you've created around you that do seem like they're fear-based, and then it's like the death card almost, right? When the structures fall down, there's only new things to come, new things to be built, new opportunities on its way, because life is continuous and we always at every given moment have the opportunity to manifest. The peacock card too is staring down at me, and I love this energy too. I get sexual energy from this card as well. They do such a beautiful dance in order to attract their mate, but it's just such a lovely bird with or without it spreading its beautiful wings. You don't know you're beautiful. You guys know that song? because you're beautiful. And yeah, it just kind of reminds me of that energy. It's like you walk around with such grace and divine beauty, and things are just always working out for you. Is what I get from this. So don't be afraid to spread your wings, because there's beautiful things that are waiting to happen for you. There's so much beauty within you being outspoken, having a voice, calling the shots, saying what you want in your life, standing up for yourself, standing out and up against other people. And that involves creating the life that you want for yourself, right? It's going to take you getting into those uncomfortable situations. And I feel like sometimes too, our masculine pushes us to break those walls down as well with the experiences that we have with them. Like many of your masculines and your connection have made you very assertive, whereas before you might have felt energies of being introverted or feeling very timid or shy, right? But ever since you met your counterpart, it's almost like life is just, different. So the awakening card comes up because, it's almost like the hanged man energy of many of you just kind of contemplating again the journey right now. Maybe you're in that space of separation. It's like time and time again. It's like the closer you get, when separation occurs, the more pain you feel, right? Because you bond even closer with this person and you discover more truth about this experience. And then when the separation happens, it's almost like you question everything. You get into the hangman position. But awakening is on its way, because it's almost like when the reconnection again happens, you definitely can tell why the separation before occurred. Do you see what I mean? It's like, look at that language right there. We're already manifesting reconnection because we know it's just part of the twin flame journey. So that's why I want you guys to rest assured when the separation does happen, like just be at ease with it, even if you're in that, upside down position, waiting in limbo. And there's no shame in saying that. Many of us are in that position when we encounter our twin flame. It's like this constant waiting for them to resurface again. And it's the same for the masculine guys, even when they're not ready to communicate. The minute that they are, the minute that they feel that epiphany, it is something that literally takes their breath away. So trust everything that's going on with the connection, and I feel like that is what will keep you guys grounded, remaining in the present, going with the flow, and really trusting that you're being looked after, protected, watched over. Let's get some more messages from this deck for you guys, just guidance here. So yeah, protection. And I love that this card comes out because it does remind me of Archangel Michael's energy. If those of you resonate with Hanuman, whatever male protective energy that you pick up on right away, this might even be your masculine, you are, being looked after. And even in the most, trying times, you find that you pull through, or that things resurface, or somehow that connection is proven time and time again to be a real experience that you're having. And I feel like that's why the awakening card comes up here, is because many of us are going through the ascension process as well, just awakening spiritually, questioning everything that we have ever known. And it's like you're protected on that path to finding out more about yourself and about this experience, about how you're growing spiritually because of it. So trust the signs around you and know that you're protected, because even the signs that are being shown to you guys, many of you will feel doubtful or question it. It's being shown to you, or if it taps on your intuition or makes you do like a double take and you need to go back to it or do, more research on something. Trust that your gut and your team, your spiritual team behind you is guiding you to go there. And, what I'm getting to say to many of you as well is like, try not to convince yourself that you're crazy or you're just imagining things, because the mind is a beautiful thing, guys. It doesn't come up with thoughts that we haven't actually invited into our reality, right? And really discern, like, thoughts that come up. If you don't want them or they don't make you feel good, let them go. When thoughts come up that make you feel enlightened, and you will feel this in your energy and your mood. These are the things that we have to pay attention to. And if thoughts do come up that make you feel very anxious, remember that breathing in air, prana, life force, is what's going to help, really get rid of all of that gunk or junk, within us. Okay, so Princess of Winter. Okay, so I love that it says here, realistic, truthful. And some of you might be very, cutting at this time in terms of how you feel about the connection, like really wanting to just kind of say that you're done. But, oh, sorry, guys. Oh, excuse me. That was a sneeze. But I feel protection with this energy as well, and that's why many of you are guided into this energy and trust it. Like, sometimes you might feel guilty, stepping back from the connection. Yeah, so it talks about speaking the truth here, and it also mentions an indigo child or an adult. And what I get from this is like a lot of you are feeling like a little bit disconnected from the journey because many of you have actually spoken your minds to your counterpart, and it's felt like, okay, that was the last of it. Like, it's really definitely not resurfacing again after that. But always remember the growth that you're getting out of that situation. I mean, things that needed to be spoken, things that needed to be said, maybe things that you never thought that you'd have the courage to say, but, somehow, you can certainly feel that release. It's like somehow transformation is going to occur. So don't feel guilty for any kind of endings that may have occurred between you and your counterpart at this time, because I feel like the strong messages around this are everything happens with divine timing. Each time you have these intense periods with each other, it's really meant to awaken this sort of swords energy, or that blunt energy within you. But at the same time, we can still say things in a diplomatic way. But like I mentioned, some of you, again, with that indigo energy, you might just kind of make apologies later after you've let somebody really have it. But trust that energy about yourself because it will be useful in other areas of your life, like the work situation. All right. I guess that's it for tonight. I know Mega kind of snoozed off on you guys here, but she had dinner, and of course, she just wanted to come up and snuggle for a bit. But I hope you guys enjoyed the reading. Again, check me out on wizio.com if you'd like a personal session with me. Right now, I do have a special if you use the code twintuitive10 to get 10% off any of the readings. So if you're curious, I have a $10 one card reading that you can just kind of dabble in it, because even with me in the beginning of my journey, I never had gotten personal readings because I was so just like I guess like not wanting to hear the wrong thing maybe. But afterwards I started meeting people where it was less about trying to predict what was happening with me and my masculine and more just offer guidance and support. And that's what I really wish to do with you guys when we connect through our personal sessions. All right, so I hope you guys have a wonderful night, and I will catch up with you in the next video to come. Take care, guys. Good night, my lovely, beautiful feminines, and sweet dreams.